Welcome to the Ben Dano Podcast, where we're calling a spade. Christie sides, Caitlin Clark. Folks, we are 3 days away. Friday, Indiana Fever are back in action. Christie sides gave an interview with Locked On Basketball. Folks, I don't think I've heard her speak more glowingly about Caitlin Clark a day in my life. We can add up every single compliment Christie sides has given Caitlin Clark in her pregame interviews, in her postgame interviews, following the draft, before the draft. We can add up all of those compliments, and it still won't equal the amount of praise that Christie sides finally decided to heap on Caitlin Clark. Finally! They must have gotten tired of listening to me complain. They must have gotten tired to listening to all of you guys complain. They must have gotten tired of watching Sophia Cunningham and Natasha Cloud flirting it up on the sidelines. They must have gotten tired of, wait a second. She's in New York? She's at the Nike factory? She's at Yankee Stadium? Maybe the hand of God just reached out and touched the Indiana Fever organization, and finally, they are enlightened. Folks, I'm not going to do a backflip. I'm not going to do a cartwheel, because remember, it wasn't too long ago, Christie sides said, Caitlin Clark needs 15 shots or more a game. And then the next 2 games, she shoots 9 times, and then she shoots 12 times, and then eventually we get to 15 attempts per game. Eventually, it seems like the offense has been handed over to Caitlin Clark. Eventually, Christie sides, Lynn Dunn realized, I might get my ass fired if I continue to do it my way or the highway around here. Instead of doing it, you know what? You're the transcendent player. You're the transcendent star. I saw what you did in Iowa. I saw the team that was built around you. I saw the offense that was implemented for you. I am going to try my best to cater to that play style. And folks, within the last 15 games, Indiana Fever are looking pretty damn sharp. Within the last 15 games, the Indiana Fever are looking pretty damn sharp. Caitlin Clark's got rest. Aaliyah Boston's got rest. Lexi Hull's got rest. Kelsey Mitchell's got rest. Tammy Benley soon should be coming back from injury. I saw Dantis chucking up 3. I think the Fever, as long as Christie sides doesn't get in the way, I think we're in for a pretty solid second half of the season. Right? 26 games in, 14 games left, 9-5. That's doable. That's what I'm leaning towards. Reasonable. I'm not jumping out the window. 9-5. Let's hear what Christie sides had to say. But before we get into that, folks, you know what comes to mind when I think of Christie sides. You know the song. Hey, Christie, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Christie. Hey, Christie. You know. So I had to bring it back. Before we get into the interview, let's just listen to a couple of great lyrics. Oh my goodness, folks, we are back in business. Christie sides, what do you have to for yourself?
We're putting up points. We're just able to execute with the players that we have on the floor, with our shooting ability, with AB and how she's playing, Alyssa Smith, Kelsey Mitchell, the attention that Caitlin Clark, what she draws and how she's been such a great playmaker with the players around her. I mean, we're getting wide open shots. Kelsey Mitchell's getting more wide open shots than she's gotten in her career.
Ever.
Yeah. And so as long as, we've really focused on this in this break as it relates to offense, just making sure we're doing everything we can to do better with making those wide open looks that we're getting. Because we're getting some great looks from three. We've got, around the basket, we've not finished some that we've got to make sure that we finish. Our free throw shooting had to improve. Those are the things we worked on that side of the ball. Talking defense, that's where my mind, that's where I feel like, I think we're in 11 right now. And I just feel like for us to make this push here at the end, we've got to get to 9, 8, 9 in that rating, in that category, just because we've got to do a better job of getting stops. People are just, we just give up too many transition buckets, and that sometimes has to do with our offense. I mean, we're turning the ball over at a high clip. That we need to work on that, but we've got to make sure we're not letting people put up 87 points on us. You don't get the opportunity to win games and giving up 87 points is just something that we have to get better at. That's our transition defense, and that's our win your individual battle defense. Just the pride of just making sure that I'm going to do everything I can to keep my player in front of me. And then the help side defense is the second part of that we've, really worked on during this break that we didn't have the opportunity in the first half of the season to do.
All right. Christie sides, talking about the offense, talk about the defense. All right, Christie. Okay. I didn't really hear any digs. I didn't really hear any diminishing of Caitlin Clark's value. You touched on the turnovers, but I'm pretty sure you've watched the film. So some of the turnovers by now are, wait, you guys just can't handle these passes. That's embarrassing. You guys just can't handle the passes. You got, what's that commercial that Shaq used to be up? You want a piece of my Butterfinger? Yeah, you got Butterfingers. You can't catch. Kelsey, Katie, Aaliyah, Lexi. Sorry. Some of the turnovers are on you, but let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. Wide open shots. Why? Well, Chrissy said it. Caitlin Clark is a damn planet out there with her gravitational pull. With the attention that she draws from the defense, they're collapsing before she even gets to half court. Before she even takes a dribble behind the back, they're already helping weak side, leaving Kelsey Mitchell wide open for a backdoor, leaving Lexi Hall wide open for a three, leaving Aaliyah Boston with her defender playing a little lax, leaving an Alyssa Smith. Folks, you've seen that play. People literally forgot about an Alyssa Smith. She must have missed so many going up on the left-hand side, turning to the right and blowing it. She must have done that so many times. Teams stopped playing defense on her. But when they do stop playing defense and she's wide open, she does make those layups. So it's up to the team. It's up to the teammates to kind of help out a little bit. Hey, make your wide open shots. Hey, when you get to the free throw line, stop shooting like trash. That's not Alyssa Smith. What are we doing here? Then when we're talking about the defensive side of the ball, this is all Christie now. This is all Christie. Christie, you are in charge of the defense. You made your bones as a coach's assistant on the defensive side of the ball. So anything that you have to say about defense, you need to get a big mirror and take a hard look in the reflection. You're talking about rotations. That's on you. You're talking about sets. That's on you. You're talking about winning your individual matchups. That's on your team. Lexi Hall has been playing great defense as of late. And Alyssa Smith, shout out to Convos with Carter, is a damn traffic cone out there on defense. I thought in the beginning of the season she wasn't that bad. But when I see people breaking down film, and I see some of the underlay, when I see some of that going on, Alyssa Smith, gotta step it up on D, girl. Come on. Step it up on D. And before you guys even I like the team as it is. I don't want to trade anybody. I want to keep Smith. I want to keep Katie Lou. I want to keep Lexi Hull. Maybe Erica Wheeler can go. But in the grand scheme of things, let me see what we got. 14 games, we're already playing great. Cece's in a rhythm. She's got rest. Hopefully she's got a midi that she's going to start using more that we saw in Iowa. Hopefully she uses her floater more that we saw in Iowa. She's going to have her legs under her, so those three-pointers should be falling a little bit more. Again, folks, I don't want to get too excited, but 9-5 for the second half of the season sounds pretty good to me. Sounds pretty good to me, but this isn't the only thing Christie Sides had to say about Caitlin Clark. She was talking about the importance that Caitlin Clark gets a certain number of shots up. Let's take a listen here.
You expect those mistakes to become fewer and fewer.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the reps with her new teammates. You know, it's the reps with understanding where Aaliyah is going to roll to, or where, you know, Liz is going to pop to, or where the defense, and then also the scheming part of it, where the defense is coming from, and just making those reads. I mean, she's making these reads now against the best players in the world, right? I mean, these are some great athletes who are putting pressure on her that she's never felt before. She's starting to figure that out. That's reps. So I think to me, that's where we're going to see the improvement. You know, I talked about her being a playmaker and you know, juggling that and trying to make sure like we're getting, you know, she's needs to take a certain amount of shots for us to be successful. But her playmaking skills are just, you know, that to me is what's so impressive. And it's just been so fun to be out on the court with Caitlin Clark and the things that she sees, her court vision and the passes that she makes. I mean, sometimes you just have to pause and I just turn around. I'm just like, wow, like, you know, just that a pass that she'll make, and we'll go over and look at it during the practice, like with our video guy, just because we're like, wow, was that as special as we thought it was. And you know, it is. So I think, you know, like you said, reps has a huge part of that.
You expect,
folks, Caitlin Clark, Christie Sides. Can we finally let Caitlin Clark do what she needs to do on offense? And Christie, do what you need to do on defense. Handle your side of the ball. We'll handle our side of the ball. Hey, Bill Belichick, he mostly handled the defense. Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady, you can handle that offense. Andy Reid, he usually handles the offense. Somebody else can handle the defense. Christie, hire an offensive specialist on your coaching staff, put them side by side with Caitlin Clark, and let's get some real creative things flowing. Because if you get her a real coach that sees the game from the same perspective that she does, sky's the limit for this Indiana Fever team. Seriously. But how will you hold up on your end of the bargain? How will you hold up with your defense? Will you allow 87 points like you mentioned? Or will you finally crack down 75 points per game? That's where we're at. 78 points per game. That's where we're at. We want to score 85. We want to hold them below 78. That, to me, is a recipe for success for the Indiana Fever. Chrissy, you got Temi coming back. That's help within the defense. So as soon as I see some people slipping up, hopefully you have a quick leash out there. But I am impressed. I am surprised. I am actually happy, right, that we finally got Christie Sides, that we finally got some real actual positive dialogue. You know, not just before a game, she's grumpy, or right after a loss and she's tired. You know, clear conscience, clear thought, fresh off a break. Christie, let's sit down. Let's talk it out. What do you guys think? In the comment section below, Do you think they finally figured out, you know what, we'll let Caitlin Clark do what she needs to do on the offensive side? It's up to me on the defensive side, speaking as Christie sides, to really get this thing together. Because that Caitlin Clark piece, I think we're close to having it figured out. This is the Ben Dano Podcast. We're calling a spade a spade. I appreciate all the support. The fact that you guys and gals take any time out of your day to click onto a video, listen to 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it might be. The fact that you guys appreciate this enough that you're willing to sacrifice your own time to watch, to hear me out. I don't think you'll understand the appreciation I have for that. Never in a million years did I think this would even be where it's at. And it's not really anywhere yet, right, guys? But the encouraging words, the comments, the positive comments, the encouragement, speechless. Truly speechless, truly humbled, and I thank you all. Ben Dano Podcast. Take it easy.